Hi everyone, it's Jen Morgano from Card & Mum by Jen Morgano. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States. I live on Long Island in New York. Thanks again for joining me today. We are going to be making this quick little bag. It's pretty big, you can see. I don't have monster hands, so it's still pretty big and can fit quite a bunch of stuff in here. And we're going to be using a whole sheet of designer series paper, which is always nice to be able to use, right? We are going to be using the Delightfully Eclectic paper pack today. This is on page 129 in the new annual catalog, and it's a big pack of paper, 48 sheets of 12 by 12. A lot of it coordinates with some of the punches that we have in the new catalog and a lot of the suites that we have. So lots of different patterns. We made this we made this bag at my stamp camp this past weekend, and I used all the black and white paper for my attendees. So I do have one sheet of black and white paper left, but I thought it might be fun maybe just to use a different pattern. So we're going to be using this cute little floral pattern. Looks like we have some Orchid Oasis and Starry Night, some fresh freesia, and maybe some crushed curry. You see the other side is just a lot of polka dots. But I'm going to use this floral side. So let me get my trimmer here, and we will go through making it together. You're going to start by making 4 score lines, and you can use your Simply Scored tool if you want, or you can just use your trimmer and use the scoring blade. So in order for the direction to be correct, right? So we want our flowers facing up. We don't want them sideways because that would be weird. If you have a pattern that you definitely want facing up, you're gonna make sure it's facing up this way, and we're gonna score at 3 and 9. Okay, so 3 inches from either side. Then you're gonna rotate your paper a quarter turn, and you're gonna score at 5 and 7. Okay, and this little guy is going to be the bottom of our box here. Okay, take my scoreboard out. After you're done making these score lines, we're going to fold them in and burnish them well with a bone folder. Okay, so follow along with this one. Gets a little tricky, but once you make 1 or 2, you'll be set. So basically what we're going to do is take this score line here and match it up to this score line. So you'll take this, and it gets a little tricky. You kind of have to hold this here so it doesn't bend too much. Kind of wiggle it so it lines up. And this is a little bit of a thicker designer paper, so kind of have to play with it, but make sure that lines up. And then you'll come in. And we're folding it in, even though when we assemble the bag, this is actually going to be folded the other way, this seam right here. But I do this because it's a thicker designer series paper, and folding it like this kind of just makes it a little bit more easy, breaks it down the paper a little bit so that you can work with it. Okay, same thing here. So again, I'm taking this score line and lining it up with this score line. Down, and then you're just going to repeat the same thing on this side. Like I said, after a bag or 2, you're like, this is fine. And then if you're like me, you don't make a bag like this for a while, and then you have to look at your instructions again and go, how did I do this? Too many different projects we make, right? Okay, so that kind of looks like this. Now we folded it this way. We don't want it that way. We want it is to come in. Like that. I'm going to fold this in. And then this is going to come, it's hard because, you know, you want to put the whole bag together. And then these are going to be glued down here like that, if that makes sense. It's not so shadowy. Okay, so what we're going to do is put glue on the inside pieces here. And then we're going to put glue over here on this little triangle and adhere it down here. Okay, just want to make sure that that lines up nice with the seam of your bag. Okay, hold that down. Do the same thing with here on this side. It lines up nice. So really burnishing those score lines and folding inward and then outward kind of tends to make this part of the project a little bit easier because the paper isn't resisting you so much. It has submitted to you. Now this one gets a little tricky because the other half of the bag is already put together. So kind of do this all together. Hold that down. There we go. I'll stand it up so it's happier. Put that in. Come on, paper. Boop, there we go. Kind of up. I'm just gonna hold it down flat here. I know you can't see what I'm doing inside. I was just rubbing those score lines down, making sure that that glue was adhering nicely. Okay, so that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4 score lines, and you're done. And now you just have to decorate it. What we did in our class this past weekend was I held it together like this, and then we used our crocodile, or my crocodile, and just punched out 2 little holes in the middle so that we can get some ribbon through it. And I use this metallic weave. They came out, these ribbons, last year with the new in colors. So I'm going to be using, is this Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis. So I'm going to take probably, say about 18 inches. And we'll loop that through here. So I like to hold those holes together, and you can kind of do that so it doesn't fray and get weird, and then you only pull part of it through. But you're going to, you know, weave it in one end and then have it return to the same side that you started. I think I should have used the bigger crocodile hole. Okay, got it. And just even it out and tie a simple little bow. Of course, you want to stuff it with your goodies first. You can hold a lot. It's nice. Saying a lot of times when we make little bags or boxes, there's kind of small. This one's nice and roomy. Okay, let's do that. I will trim that, but let's make our happy birthday sign sentiment first. I'm going to use Orchid Oasis, and what I've done is I cut a banner out using the nested essential dies. Excuse my voice there. So this set that I use a lot, this is new in the catalog, new annual catalog. So we have this kind of diamond in shape, this like rounded rectangle, and these banner shapes. So I use the largest banner die and cut out a piece of basic white. And then what I'm going to do is stamp off once with my birthday word. Okay, and I'm using the Biggest Wish stamp set. So I'm going to take my birthday, ink that up nice. Going to stamp off once, and then stamp here down towards the bottom. Okay, so I get kind of a nice faded. And I cropped this out first because these are photopolymer stamps, so you can see through where you're placing it. I wanted to do that to make sure that we got the happy and the birthday in a nice spot. Okay, and this is our cute little happy sentiment, and I'm just going to place that right on top of that word. And then I'm going to find my, I'm going to speak now, my 2023-2024 in color pearls. And we're going to place a few on there. So it's these guys. My take a pick tool is missing in action. I'm going to have to find it. So that, and then maybe we'll do a little blue. There we go. Okay. And we'll just pop that on using some dimensionals. Aha, I found my take a pick tool. Too late. Save it for the next video. And we're just going to pop this on with some dimensionals. And this is a bigger piece, so I'll probably do, you know, the outside edges and then one in the middle to make that nice. If my fingers work. Boom. I'm just going to pop that up here. And then we'll finish off just trimming our ribbon a little bit. Oh my goodness. And there you go, another little bag. It's not so shabby, right? It's a great way to use that 12 by 12 paper if you have a bunch stashed in there. So thank you for watching. I will put the link to the blog post that will accompany this video with the specific measurements and scoring lines in case you didn't get to write them down while we were going through it together. I will also put the links to all of the products I use there. I do use a website called These Are My Stamps for my blog to get my products there. Well, guess what I just realized? They have a whole YouTube version. So I'm just going to drop all those products in there in case you're interested in anything that I used during this. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like what you see. I do also have links to my other social media accounts, whether you like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, so you can follow me there as well if that is your preferred choice. This is July's host code. If you want to order anything under $150, please use that host code. If not, you'll get those benefits for yourself. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, please drop me a message and I could explain all the lovely paper crafting details. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.